Steno Wale Babu welcomes you. Shorthand dictations in male and female voice from all sources like magazines, speeches, and editorials at various speeds up to 120 WPM for various departments like SSC, DSSB, CRPF, Delhi Police, etc. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.
Exercise number 19. Farming as an activity contributes nearly 1/6 to our national GDP and a major portion of our population is dependent on it for livelihood. It has risen to the challenge of making India largely self-sufficient in providing food for a growing population. To make farming competitive and profitable, there is an urgent need to step up investment, both public and private, in agro-technology development and creation and modernization of existing agribusiness infrastructure. Indian Agricultural Research Institute (PUSA) has been at the forefront of research in this area. However, since independence, only one such center has been established. Government will establish two more such institutions of excellence on similar pattern in Assam and Jharkhand with an initial sum of rupees 100 crore in the current financial year. In addition, an amount of rupees 100 crore is being set aside for setting up an agri-tech infrastructure fund. It is also proposed to establish agriculture universities in Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan and horticulture universities in Telangana and Haryana. An initial sum of rupees 200 crores has been allocated for this purpose. Deteriorating soil health has been a cause of concern and leads to some optimal utilization of farming resources. Government will initiate a scheme to provide to every farmer a soil health card in a mission mode. I propose to set aside a sum of rupees 100 crore for this purpose and an additional rupees 56 crores to set up 100 mobile soil testing laboratories across the country. There have also been growing concerns about the imbalance in the utilization of different types of fertilizers, resulting in deteriorating and the deterioration of the soil. Banks are providing strong credit support to the agriculture sector. A target of rupees 8 lakh crore has been set for agriculture credit during 2014-15, which I am confident the banks will surpass this. Under the interest subvention scheme for short-term crop loans, the banks are extending concessional rate of 7%. The farmers get a further incentive of 3% for timely repayment. I propose to continue the scheme in 2014-15. NABARD operates the Rural Infrastructure Developmental Fund out of the priority sector, leading shortfall of the banks, which helps in creation of infrastructure in agriculture and rural sectors across the country. I propose to raise the corpus of RIDF, increasing warehousing capacity for increasing the shelf life of agriculture produces and thereby the earning capacity of the farmers is of utmost importance, keeping in view the urgent need for availability of scientific warehousing infrastructure in the country. I propose an allocation for rupees 5000 crore for the fund for the year 2014-15. The share of long-term investment credit in agriculture is going down as compared to short-term crop loan. This is severely hampering the asset creation in agriculture and allied activities. In order to give a boost to long-term investment credit in agriculture, I propose to set up long-term rural credit fund in NABARD for the purpose of providing refinance support to cooperative banks and regional rural banks with an initial corpus of rupees 5000 crore. Government is committed to reforms in the food sector, restructuring FCI, reducing transportation and distribution losses, and efficacy of PDS would be taken up on priority. Government is also committed to provide wheat and rice at reasonable prices to the weaker sections of the society. Even if, due to inadequate rainfall, there is a marginal decline in agriculture production, stocks in the central pool are adequate to meet any exigency. Government shall, when required, undertake open market sales to keep prices under control. The e-biz platform aims to create a business and investor friendly system in India by making all business and investment related clearances and compliances available on a 24 by 7 single portal with an integrated payment gateway. All central government departments and ministries will integrate their services with the e-biz platform on priority. A National Industrial Corridor Authority with its headquarters in Pune is being set up to coordinate the development of the industrial corridors with smart cities linked to transport connectivity, which will be the cornerstone of the strategy to drive India's growth in manufacturing and urbanization. I have provided an initial corpus of rupees 100 crore for this purpose. The government is committed to revive the special economic zones and make them effective instructions and instruments of industrial production, economic growth, export promotion, and employment generation. For achieving this, effective steps would be undertaken to operationalize the special economic zones to revive the investors' interest to develop better infrastructure and to effectively and efficiently use the available unutilized land. India has emerged as the largest PPP market in the world with over 900 projects in various stages of development. PPPs have delivered some of the iconic infrastructure like airports, ports, and highways, which are seen as models for development globally. But we have also seen the weakness of the PPP framework and the rigidities in contractual arrangements. Thank you.